cause analysis best practices is one of the biggest gems that comes out of the TapRooT Global Summit. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to TapRooT TV. I'm Benna and I'm so happy and thrilled to introduce you to Stephanie Tipton.
Yay.
Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today. I attended my first annual summit this year. Got to meet everybody. It was awesome. Just learning about what they use our root cause analysis system for is absolutely amazing. And the best practice session was one of the best, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Yes.
It's always one of my favorite because that's your boots on the ground people telling everybody what they do to improve their investigations and lower their incidents, and it's fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to share with you guys today. Hopefully you all can click on the notification button if you haven't already and ring the bell. So without further ado, we're going to let you see the best practices session that we had at Summit.
But real quick, a lot of people have been asking us about doing webinars.
Yes.
And after these best practices are shared, at the end of that, we're going to tell you a little bit about what we have going on because we do have some. So stay tuned. Let's get to those best practices.
Good morning. My name is Dana Rocha. I work for MedCom Patient Safety, I work for the Army at the service headquarters at Fort Sam Houston. And as you know, the Army is pretty much worldwide. So I help with patient safety and health care across the Army, so in the hospitals and the clinics and the dental clinics worldwide. So what we actually did is we took a look at all of our high-risk processes across the Army to see where we could make improvement. And what we noticed is that we had issues with communications. That's probably not news to everybody. So we had communication issues across every concept, across every level that you could possibly think of. So as a result of that, what we did is we put in some actions to actually help improve those. And what we did is we started with some things called leadership daily briefs, leadership rounds, unit-based huddles, briefs, debriefs before and after a surgical procedure, SBAR, which is the situation background assessment and recommendations, and universal protocol. So as a result of those, we based those because they're all high risk. So what we did is most of the tools that we wanted to emphasize, we already had. They were the team steps tools, which are things that we want to do by sharing information. I won't go too much in depth, but we had some tools out there. So what we did is we just really needed to show people how to really use those tools the correct way. And that what we found is people didn't really know how to use those tools the best way possible. So as a result, we implemented those tools, but we took it a step further. We implemented across the Army, but we wanted to make sure it worked in one area first. So what we did is our MedCom facilities across the world implemented, and we had over 3,400 leadership safety briefs. And as a result of those leadership safety briefs, we were able to identify almost 2,500 safety issues, and we were able to mitigate 2,230 right on the spot. For potential harm to our patients and our staff. So as a result of that, the ones that we weren't able to mitigate on the spot, we were able to get over 90% of those completed within 30 days. So it definitely made a significant difference. And we took it a step further, and what we wanted to do is make sure people were continuing to do those things. So we went back and did something what we called tracers to make sure people were still doing what they said they were doing. And as a result of implementing those different tools and showing people how to do them, use them and properly, that just on one of the tools we picked, which is universal protocol, which is used when you do a surgical procedure, whether in or out of the operating room, we found that they were 99% compliant as a result of implementing those tools and showing them how to utilize them. So it's made a significant difference across the Army, and our numbers of harm events have actually came down as a result of it. So.
One of my fellow rooters, Phil Walling, just recently retired from DuPont after 39 years. So some days, if you've seen Disney's Christmas special, Prep and Landing, Wayne, when he talks about, I've been doing this a long, long time. I've been at this investigation stuff a long, long time. And so just a friendly reminder, sometimes it's back to basics, sometimes it's the fundamentals, sometimes it's the blocking and tackling. And so who's going to do your investigations? It's your people. So trying to help and support them and enable them to do the best investigation work that they can. So just a couple of reminders. One, try to make sure that you have a trained and experienced investigation facilitator. Maybe some upfront training, summary training for those people that may not be as familiar with TapRooT or investigation, and then just making sure you have the right team with the right kinds of expertise and experiences involved. Thanks.
So my name is Don Rooks, Dyke and Applied Americas. The one I was chosen for two, but one was software. Yesterday we took the software class. One of the things we worked on really thoroughly was forms. I stayed up till about 2 a.m. last night building my forms to reduce the time of our employees to do reports, do incident reports, to send to HR, to do presentations. So I've built it so they hit report, they can actually get a 15-page right now, I think is what it is, presentation to report up to upper management. All that within basically eight hours after the class. That saves over probably for our employees that are doing the TapRoots 2 to 3 hours per person just by hitting that button.
Those were great. I'm so glad that we shared those with you, and I hope that you enjoyed them as much as we did today. If you would like to see more, please go on our YouTube page. We have a playlist of best practices, so you can look at more of those best practices that we shared today.
Yeah, and they're not just from this year's summit, and we will be putting more up throughout the year, but they're from some past year's summits too, so you can find out more information on those. Now, to the live webinars, the thing that people have been asking for. These are not actual TapRooT training. Those are, we've decided, definitely always have to stay in person. The quality of your investigations are way too important to do them any other way. But we have created 5 or 6 supplemental live webinars. And like I said, they're live, so they're not replays.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to sign up and view them at the time that they go on, which is great because you can ask questions and stuff.
Very interactive.
So we've got grading your investigations coming up.
Patient safety.
Yep, that's a really important one. The
If
causal factor one.
Causal factor is great. That was wonderful. We had that last week. I'm sure we'll have it again.
Yep.
And if you're interested in having them privately for your company, we'd be more than happy to help you with that as well.
I know, those are great. We
Those
love our on-site courses so much.
Yes.
But you can go in and you can get some supplemental training, and some of it can kind of give you a little refresher too. So that's really nice. And we've got a couple of software options as well. So you can just go to our website and you'll go to our courses tab, and you can see all of them and when they're taking place, and you can sign up right there. They're very affordable too, which is really nice. So that's something you can do, like if you're in a period right now where with COVID that you can't go to a course or something like that. That's something you can share with your team. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm so glad you got to be here and do this and us get back here in the office a little bit.
Yes, me too.
For a little bit.
We have been quarantining for 14 days, so we are healthy
at a minimum.
and good.
At a minimum, for sure.
Yes.
If you want more information on what we have to offer, like I said, go to our website, taproot.com. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. As she said earlier, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you know when we put out new information. And always the most important, easiest way to find out about stuff is signing up for our newsletter, and you can do that on the website as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Stephanie, and we'll see you back here next week.
Awesome.